Welcome to my first vlog of 2026. I'm very excited because I got accepted into my first ever art market, and that art market is in 5 days. I printed out all of my illustrations and some new stickers for the market, but I still have a long list of prep work that I need to do. I need to cut all of the illustrations to the correct sizes, and then I need to sign and package every print. I also need to make all of the booth signage, so I need my pricing sheets, I need my payment sheets so people know how they can pay for all of their items. I also need signage around any bundles that I'm gonna have. I also need to make a banner with my new logo. I'm going to try making it myself. Those seemed pretty expensive to get made professionally. So I'm going to just sew a very simple table runner and then use my Cricut to print out my new logo on it. And then I also want to include a binder for my pet portraits. I love doing my pet portraits, but there isn't a way for me to sell them at the art market. So I thought I would put together a binder that includes samples of my most recent illustrations, as well as some of the pet portrait stickers that I've done. And then I'll include a little sign-up sheet so that I can contact people that might be interested in getting one done of their own pets. And then once all of that is done, I want to do a quick run through of the actual booth setup. Since this is my first art market, that's what I'm most concerned about, is making sure that everything that I bought that fits on the table. Today I'm going to work on getting everything done for the prints, so I'm going to be cutting and packaging those today. Yesterday I finished cutting all of the illustrations, and then last night I signed each one. So now I just need to put them in the packaging. I'm going to put each print in a clear display bag along with a cardboard backing board. Finally done packaging all of the prints. I'm going to sort them by illustration, and then I'm going to see how many I have of each one. Okay, it's a new day. After I was finished packaging those prints last night, I was done. I was so hungry, so I just stopped to go eat dinner. Today, I'm going to make the pet portrait binder, and then I'm going to set up the booth layout for the first time. I have it set up in my kitchen. And then I'm going to start working on my logo banner for the table. For the pet portrait binder, I just have a cheap binder. And then I printed out all of my pet portraits, and I will put some pet portrait stickers on the cover so people can see examples of those. And then I have some sheets where people can leave their email addresses, and then I can send them more information about pet portraits if they're interested. Okay, so let's do a little flip through of the pet portrait binder. We have our pet portrait stickers on the cover. Of course, I had to include my bestie Trixie. And then we have our pet portrait sign-up sheets to get more details. And then visitors at the art booth can flip through and see examples of both my traditional pet portrait paintings and my digital pet portrait paintings. Somehow I filmed this without sound, so for a portion of this setup, we just won't have any voiceover. I made this little sign to go next to a few prints that are from the Missouri Botanical Gardens. This way buyers know that I have some local inspired art. And then here are my new business cards. So this is how the booth is currently looking. I'm going to put a few more prints up and then add some last little decoration details. I have this little signage that I made for the stickers. I do need to tape this together, but I'll do that later. I have this laminated payment sheet so people can easily scan the QR code to get to my Venmo. And I think I'm just gonna lay this on the table. And then I can't forget that I have this original 3D painting that I did recently. So I'm going to have this for sale at the art market. Then I have a little signage for that. Then I have these little foam flowers from Michaels. They have this little wire loop on the back. I'm thinking I can put these on the wire grid in the back and maybe just a few on the table. I'm not gonna put all of them up today because I might just have to take them down. So they're very easy to attach, so I will just know that going into the art market day. I don't have any room for that wooden box for my 11 by 14 prints. So I think I'm going to bring this blue table from IKEA. My booth space is a 10 by 10 foot area, so I have plenty of room to include this. I'll probably just have it off to the other side of my booth. And then that's where I can have this box. And lastly, I have these little butterflies that have a wire stem. I think these are for wreaths or like flower arrangements, but I'm going to put them on the wire grid as well. Okay, I think that's everything. I'll give a last little look of the booth, the setup, and then I'm gonna go make the booth banner. Day of, I will add more prints in this area. There's little Trix sleeping in the background. Okay, the last step that I have is to make my logo banner for the table. So I'm going to start by sewing all of the edges of the fabric, and then I can use my Cricut to put my logo on. Okay, so I'm finished sewing all of the edges. Now I need to see how big my logo can be. So I'm thinking maybe like 34 inches. That'll give us a few inches on either side. Maybe even 32. I think I'm gonna go 32 inches. This is the vinyl I'm going to use. It's a light apricot color. This is going to be the first time that I'm doing this, and I hope I get it right the first time because I don't have time to go buy more vinyl. So based on the size of this vinyl, which is 12 by 24, and then the size of my mat, I think I'm going to have to split up my logo into 3 pieces and then piece it together on the fabric. I'm going to cut the vinyl into 3 pieces and go from there. I have the pieces roughly placed out, so I'm going to start with the beginning of the letters and then go from there. I'm going to put some parchment paper over the vinyl piece. I do have a towel underneath this. I think you're supposed to do each letter around 30 seconds. Okay, that did not work. Maybe it needs to be hotter. I'm having a lot of trouble with this. I didn't realize that you couldn't. I didn't realize the letters had to be on a hard surface. I'm having trouble getting the vinyl to come off of the clear transfer paper. I didn't realize that you couldn't have a towel underneath it, so now it's just on my metal table. The B turned out a little wonky. I'm just, at this point, I'm hoping to just be able to get all of the letters on. I'm giving up on the parchment paper. Okay, I'm gonna try and fix it with some tweezers. Well, I didn't record any more of putting the vinyl on the fabric. It was super frustrating and I don't want to do it again for a very long time. But here's how it looks. Not sure if you'll be able to see on camera, but there are a lot of mistakes. But I'm hoping that it looks good on the booth as people are walking in. That's what I care most about. There isn't much left for me to do, so I think I'm done until we get to the show. The art market ended up being a lot of fun. It was really nice meeting all of the other vendors there, as well as all of the people attending the market. I did my first ever art trade with one of my booth neighbors. I got this cool bat print and then this Adventure Time print. The market was a smaller one and I knew that going in, and that's why it was the one I wanted to do as my first ever art market. So I didn't plan on selling that much. I ended up selling 3 prints and 7 stickers. So on the lower end, but I still had a great time. It was so much fun to meet everyone that was walking around and getting to talk with people. I'm applying for a spring art market at the same location, and I believe that's in the beginning of May. I don't think I'm going to make a lot of adjustments to my booth, but I do have plans for a new product that I want to create, and I'll be sharing that in the next video. I'm really happy that I did it, and I'm really excited to do the next one. All right, see you next time. Bye.